We're trying so much to make it worth your while, and we definitely have to motivate you, as we do every Mondays. All right, and today we have a very interesting conversation, still off the series, with Martha Peter, and she's here to talk to us today about building realistic timelines. Hi, Martha. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria again. It's a pleasure to have you here, as usual. Okay, so now we started this series talking about self-awareness, talking about building confidence, and now we're talking about building realistic timelines. So before we go into that, can we just do a quick recap of what we've literally been learning for the past 2 weeks?
Okay, basically what we've been talking about is there is somebody you need to become to achieve your goals in 2024.
Yeah.
And then you also need a level of confidence to pursue. That's talking about the courage. And then the esteem. You don't have to put yourself down and think nothing good can come out of you. No one should have that thought in 2024.
Okay.
So today is just, we're moving into the realistic time.
Realistic, okay, great, amazing. So now what is a realistic timeline? Let's start from the business level of that.
Okay, that's when you're planning according to the time expected for a project to be done.
Okay.
So take, for instance, you have an oak tree and you have a mango tree. If you are building, you are planting a mango tree, that's going to take about 4 to 5 years. And I'm planting an oak tree. It's going to take about 20 to 50 years. So you can imagine if I'm looking at yours and I'm feeling, oh, she's just harvesting, she's selling mangoes already.
True.
But if one oak tree is going to like put you off the market for a while. So it's going to put you off the market.
For a while.
So it's going to put you off the market for a while. Like, not put you off the market anyways, but it's going to
take a longer time.
Take a longer time. One of my own oak tree can make more of yours.
Yeah.
So we need to respect the time and seasons that you're using to build and stay with it.
Yes.
So it depends on what you're building.
What you're actually doing. It actually makes sense because it takes my mind to, poultry, right? Talk about how long it takes a chicken to hatch eggs. They talk about how long it takes a goat to actually give birth. It takes an elephant, even the human being, very different timelines, also depending on the gravity of what you're carrying. But I think a lot of people actually struggle with the fact, because they don't know. I might start something now, and I don't know, I think it should take a shorter time, right? Because I don't know if you get me, like, there is no saying what germination time is meant to be for certain projects. So how would you say people should, what would you say are the practical steps to actually building like a realistic timeline?
Okay, so the first thing is to know why you're building it. Settle that, because if you don't settle that, you might need to start changing projects in between. So let's settle the question why before we go into purposeful planning, which is the first step majorly.
Okay.
So purposeful planning, plan it out, break it into steps. Let's put it into paces, strategic paces where you can achieve it.
Okay.
Then you now prioritize the task that is needed. Some things are important for your project, for your goals, while some things are urgent. So you need to identify the difference between urgency and importance.
Okay.
So when you have the prioritization of task, then you now have to start looking for partnership. Do you need external people to carry that out? So these steps shows that you have a set date to round up already. You have a set date to close this project. So there are actionable steps that you need to start taking. Then you move into the pacing of strategies.
Okay.
Start to just move towards the goal, and then so practically, with all this English we're speaking, you need to put, I'm about to build a house. I have the amount required for me to build a house. I'm building a 2-story building. So what's the time? When the architecture tells me, that should be my timeline. But the ones you don't know, set out actionable steps. Sometimes by the time you execute your project, you begin to have clarity on when you're even ending.
Okay.
So, but not planning, not having that first step, the purposeful planning.
Yeah.
Then it might mean you just have a wish and not a goal.
And not
without
a
timeline,
goal.
it's a wish, it's not a goal.
Okay, without timeline. Oh, wow, that's actually very, very succinct. Without timeline, it is a wish and not a goal. I think that actually makes a whole lot of sense. So now, what happens when you actually have a timeline? And then with everything you're saying, you're doing everything, you put everything written down, you're moving day by day step gradually towards that goal. But you realize that, okay, it doesn't seem as if I'm going to achieve this timeline. What then happens? Sometimes that can actually be very discouraging. What then happens at that point? What would you advise we do at that point?
You can go see somebody. You can go see a coach.
Okay.
You can go see someone who has done what you've not done before. It is time to ask questions. Don't just give up. Sometimes it could be the wrong timing, and sometimes it could be the wrong project. It's not everything we plan that we are going to execute.
True, true.
But you shouldn't shiver. You shouldn't quiver out and say, I'm not doing anymore. So find out what is not working. If it takes you to walk up to a mentor, walk up to a successful transcessor who has gone before you, then please move to them and ask what is happening.
Oh, okay.
So in asking questions, you could get answers to settling whatever the issue is and then getting it done.
All right, amazing. I mean, it's also the beginning of the year. It's 2024, so a lot of people have great and large plans for the year already, trying to plan out. So you've advised us now, with best we write our plans out and then start executing them gradually, step by step. So
write your plans out with timeline.
Write your plans out with timelines and then start working towards those timelines. All right. Thank you so much. I love the fact that this interview was really brief, but then again, it has a lot packed in it. Thank you so much. And we're hoping to have you here again next week, Monday, to round up this session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. All right. You heard it right here from our guest right here. Write your plans out with timelines and then move gradually towards execution. We'll go on a quick break right now. When we come back, still so much happening right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Stay with us.